have potential. Grant Senzani.
Right, I'm going to need your help on this one. I'm going to start a statement, and I want you guys to finish it off for me, okay? So the statement goes, I will start with, I have, and you will end with, potential. Fair enough? I have
Potential.
I have
Potential.
For the last person who's sleeping, I have
Potential.
Mr. Contestant Chair, guests, and those of us who have potential. I remember on this day specifically, dreaded day. I mean, this was a hot summer day. And we're talking about Gaborone, Botswana hot. Now, that's the type of weather that if you take your egg and throw it onto the tarmac, well done, is going to happen. And being this dark, I'm not Venda. Not the best condition. But today was not dreaded because of the weather. Today was dreaded because finally I'd received my report card. So I rushed home, put on my suit, with my report card in my hand, walked towards my dad in my suit, preparing for my death. Upon arrival, I gave my report card to my dad. He then began to flip through it, and I thought, this is the time for me to dash. This is the time for me to do like Bolt and run. And as I turned around, he said, with his deep, Mufasa-like voice, young man, come back, sit down. And then I knew, I'm in big trouble. Kept flipping through. And once he was done, he put it down, looked at me square, and said, you can't be serious. You cannot be serious. You see, I'd finally passed everything in secondary. For the first time ever, I'd passed every single subject. But here's the catch. I'd scored below average for every single one of them as well. So my dad began his speech, and it went something like, blah, 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 blah. And just when I thought it would end, blah, 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 blah. What had also annoyed my dad at this specific point is that every single teacher had said, I have potential. And this annoyed him. Annoyed him. So after his long speech, he looks at me and says, okay, son, what have you learned? And I look at him, stand up. I have potential. Have you ever tried putting out a fire with fuel? And since then, that's really been one of the largest compliments that I've had. Grant, you breakdance so well. You could be the best breakdancer. Grant, wow, the way you put your lyrics together, you could actually become a Jay-Z. Oh, Grant, you speak so well. Perhaps you become a phenomenal speaker. And then it dawned on me that maybe, this sentence is not all that it's meant to be. See, what I learned was that potential is people telling you that you are here, and you need to be over here. And the gap in between is what they call potential. Now, there's a good side and a bad side of this. If you're doing something, then potential is excellent. But if you're doing nothing, potential is a problem. And for a long time, guess what I did? Until I got a hold of a book by a gentleman named, the book title rather, is called The Slight Edge. And this book simply talked about how if you're here and you want to be over here and you want to fill that gap called potential, you need to start doing small things, and over time, the momentum of all your actions will allow you to reach your goal. So I took that and began to apply it. And that's something I'm sure we can all do. Where am I now? Where do I want to be? Let's find some small steps to get us there. And you can do this with anything, and essentially you can have anything that you also want. So now when I have the privilege of introducing myself, I don't tell people, hey, I'm Grant. I'm part of the top 5 salespeople in my team. No. Nor do I say, hey, once upon a time, I was interviewed by a prominent radio station in Namibia for my music. No. Nor do I tell people, well, I've got 2 successful businesses that I'm running right now. I don't tell them none of that. Guess what I say? I say, hey, I'm Grant, and I have
Potential.
and I'm finally doing something about it.
Wow.
Mr. Contestant Champ.